Thank you for subscribing to our channel. Today is Sunday, November 29, 2020. Al Jazeera report. Mysterious monolith vanishes from Utah desert. A mysterious metal monolith found in a remote desert of the western United States has apparently disappeared, officials said. The Utah Bureau of Land Management said on Saturday that it had received credible reports that the object had been removed by an unknown party on Friday. The Bureau did not remove the structure, which is considered private property, it said in a statement. We do not investigate crimes involving private property which are handled by the local sheriff's office.
BBC report. Swiss vote to reject responsible business initiative. Despite nearly 50% of voters backing the initiative, regional results show it failed to win support in a majority of Swiss cantons as required. The government and many business leaders had come out against the plan. Another proposal to hold firms liable for damages caused by Swiss financing of arms sales was also rejected. The new law sought to allow victims of alleged human rights violations or environmental damage to sue Swiss companies in Swiss courts.
Al Jazeera report. Rocket attack causes fire at oil refinery in northern Iraq. A rocket attack in northern Iraq has caused a large fire at an oil refinery, briefly halting operations, the country's oil ministry said. The fire hit a fuel storage tank at the small Sania refinery in Salahuddin province on Sunday. There were no reports of casualties, the ministry statement said. The fire was extinguished and operations resumed within few hours after the attack, the ministry said, citing the state-owned Northern Refining Company that runs the refinery.
Fox report. California community holds walk for 68-year-old woman stabbed to death on trail by unknown killer. California police were continuing to hunt for a 68-year-old woman's killer as nearly 100 people gathered for a walk on the popular hiking trail where she was attacked in broad daylight and stabbed to death. The walk was held Saturday in Carlsbad's Hosp Grove Park to remember Lisa Thorberg, who had moved to the beach city near San Diego 6 months ago from Oregon and to comfort a community shaken by the death.
CNN report. An Oregon mink farm has reported a COVID-19 outbreak. An Oregon mink farm has reported an outbreak of coronavirus among mink and farm workers. 10 mink samples submitted all came back positive for coronavirus, the Oregon Department of Agriculture (ODA) said in a news release on Friday. The farm has been placed under quarantine, meaning no animal or animal product can leave the farm until further notice, according to ODA. The farmer and his staff have been advised to self-isolate after multiple coronavirus cases were reported among workers on the farm, the release said.
BBC report. Diego Maradona, police raid house and clinic of Dr. They are trying to establish if there was negligence in the treatment of the footballer, one of the greatest players of all time. The former star, 60, died of a heart attack at his Buenos Aires home. Maradona's daughters are said to have demanded to know what medication their father was on. Maradona had successful surgery on a brain blood clot earlier in November and was to be treated for alcohol dependency.
Fox report. Utah men arrested after discarded body found in desert, police say. 2 men in Utah have been arrested in connection to the suspected murder of a 50-year-old man whose body was discarded in the desert, authorities said Friday. Residents in Juab County reported to police that a man had been shot and his body dumped somewhere in the West Desert, said Juab County Sheriff Douglas Anderson, according to the Deseret News. Police arrested Troy Pexton, 56, and Scott Blackett, 41, both of Nephi, after investigators discovered the body of Michael Kasi along a highway in the area.
Al Jazeera report. Hungarian commissioner retracts comparing George Soros to Hitler. A Hungarian official has begrudgingly retracted an article likening U.S.-Hungarian billionaire and philanthropist George Soros, a staunch critic of Hungary's government, to Adolf Hitler and the Nazis, after strong condemnation and loud calls for his sacking. Europe as George Soros gas chamber. Szilard Demeter, ministerial commissioner and head of the Petőfi Literary Museum in Budapest, wrote in an opinion on Saturday in the pro-government Origo media outlet.
CNN report. Some restaurants hate delivery apps like Grubhub and Uber Eats, so they're seeking out alternatives. If you visit Motorino Pizza's website, you'll be greeted with a plea: don't order through Seamless. The worst thing that has ever happened to us is them, said Matthew Palambino, owner of the small New York City-based pizza chain. Palomino used to do just fine with his own delivery fleet, he said. But now, he feels that opting out of Seamless is not an option. If you're not on Seamless, you no longer exist online. You're not there.
Deutsche Welle report. Donald Trump refuses to concede in first post-election TV appearance. In his first television appearance since the U.S. election on November 3, Donald Trump said he would continue to fight the results of the presidential poll. Representatives from Trump's presidential campaign and other members of his Republican Party have filed multiple lawsuits contesting the results of the election. The outgoing president has refused to concede the White House race to Democrat Joe Biden, even as U.S. states begin to certify their election results.
Fox report. British Airways investigating reports stewardess is offering sexual services between flights. British Airways is investigating reports that one of its Heathrow-based stewardesses is selling sex and her undergarments during and in between flights. Photos of the flight attendants' risque advertisements on social media were first reported by The Sun. The photos show her in a variety of suggestive poses while in uniform on the plane. For $33 a passenger can be the new owner of her underwear. Twice that will be a securing fee where a prospective client can meet her at a hotel, according to the paper.
Deutsche Welle report. Switzerland. Double no to tougher ethics rules for business. A Swiss civic group referendum that would see 29,000 multinationals adopt strict global liability rules has failed, despite backing from half the population. The initiative, titled Responsible Companies, to Protect People and the Environment, won a narrow majority of votes on Sunday, with 50.7% backing it and 49.3% against, but failed because a majority of the country's cantons, or states, came out against it. Nearly a quarter of all jobs in the Alpine Republic are linked to Swiss-based global enterprises such as Nestlé, Novartis, Glencore and Roche. A second referendum on curbing bank and pension fund investments in or lending to Swiss defense firms was headed for defeat by 58% of voters, said exit pollsters. The second proposal sought to ban funding to arms makers and targeted a traditional Swiss sector involving 3,000 firms, employing 50,000 people. Under Switzerland's direct democracy system, proposals need to win both a majority of votes cast and of cantons to pass. Failure of the main.
Fox report. Spanish police make huge drug haul after high-speed boat chase. Police in Spain seized 2 tons of drugs after a wild hours-long high-speed chase in the Mediterranean Sea. Spain's national police on Saturday released a video of the bust, which happened last week. Do you want to see what the chase on the high seas was like? More than 5 hours and 100 nautical miles, police said. The video was shot from a police helicopter and showed masked men taking photographs and waving to the officers as they dumped bags believed to be with hashish overboard, Fox 5 New York reported.
CNN report. Car bomb kills at least 40 Afghan soldiers. A car bomb attack in Afghanistan's central province of Ghazni killed at least 40 Afghan soldiers and wounded 24, Ghazni Public Health Department told CNN on Sunday. An attacker detonated an explosive-packed vehicle in front of a security base in the Dayak district of the province. According to a statement from the Afghan Ministry of Defense, the attacker was confronted by security forces as he tried to enter the base.
Deutsche Welle report. Belarus protesters gather in Minsk districts, hundreds arrested. Belarusian authorities have arrested more than 300 people taking part in anti-government protests in Minsk and other cities. Massive demonstrations against President Alexander Lukashenko have rocked Belarus since August, when the strongman leader claimed victory in widely disputed polls. For weeks, security forces have sought to quash the opposition movement by detaining protesters and preventing them from gathering in central Minsk, where the biggest rallies, sometimes attracting hundreds of thousands of people, have taken place.
BBC report. Ethiopia's Tigray crisis. Authorities hunt for TPLF leadership. Abiy Ahmed added that Mekelle's capture marked the last phase of the 3-week conflict, but details are hard to confirm as communications are blocked. The TPLF leader, meanwhile, vowed to fight on. In a statement to Reuters, hundreds have reportedly been killed in the conflict and thousands displaced. It began earlier this month after Mr. Abiy announced an operation against the TPLF, the regional party, accusing it of attacking the Ethiopian Army's Northern Command HQ in Mekelle.
CNN report. How California prisoners raised $30,000 for a high school student in need. It's hard to imagine two more different places than an elite private school and California's Soledad State Prison, which houses the state's largest concentration of men sentenced to life behind bars. But for the past 7 years, the two worlds have collided in an unusual way, through a book club. For more, watch CNN original series This Is Life with Lisa Ling, Sunday at 9 p.m. ET. Palma School, a prep school for boys in Salinas, California, created a partnership with the Correctional Training Facility (CTF) at Soledad State Prison to form a reading group for inmates and high school students, bringing the two groups together to learn and develop greater understanding of one another.
Thank you for watching 5 p.m. recap. To be notified, you can subscribe our channel and activate the bell.